Trump. This five-letter name might as well be one of the most polarizing words one can utter right now. Whether you like him or hate him, he's the current president and won in 2016 against all predictions. Today I'll go through the reasons why I think he is often misunderstood and the real genius behind his strategy, so stay tuned. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Contrarian. My name's Logan. I really like to talk about investing and overall success. I also like to talk about going against crowd thinking, and that is what I'm going to be talking about today. I want to make this clear that I'm not endorsing Trump in any way. I'm just going through the real genius behind his strategy. And believe me, if there was a person in the Democratic Party doing this, I would be pointing this out as well. So first of all, I think it's best to understand the man before he ran for office, officially starting in 2015. So as a young man recently graduated from Wharton Business School, he took over his family's real estate empire from his father, Fred Trump, and then his mother, eventually renaming the company's original name of Elizabeth Trump and Sons to simply the Trump Organization. He then gained full leadership of it in 1971 and handed it to his children in 2017. He played with the idea of running as a Reform Party candidate for the 2000 election, but ultimately decided to wait. His genius should begin to be seen as he fought hard and succeeded in the real estate business in one of the most competitive environments on the planet for real estate, which is already a very difficult industry to begin with. Now we need to examine the political environment before Trump in 2016, with the previous presidents and political atmosphere and reputation they left behind. With Bush Sr., then Clinton, then Bush Jr., and finally Obama, you have very little change policy-wise, and only change in external factors such as their talking points, what they were promising, and their political party, obviously. They all generally left behind a sense that they could have made better decisions while in office. Example of Clinton would be lying under oath, Bush Jr. with starting the Iraq War, and Obama with the bad trade agreements he signed. And all of them allowed China to steal our intellectual property and take our jobs. So after all of these 28 years of stagnation lays the groundwork for the public and voter base becoming increasingly upset and ready for change. With jobs vanishing from their communities and people becoming desperate, they wanted somebody completely outside of politics. They decided that Donald Trump was their man, and they nominated him to be the GOP candidate. Now let's look at Trump's path to victory. Trump had to go around the traditional path that people had to run by, and also had to avoid threats that the traditional politicians would throw at him. The media, for example, could have been his undoing if they simply ignored him and let him go unnoticed. The fact was, though, they couldn't. Trump would wake up in the morning, tweet something divisive, ridiculous, or unpolitically correct, and all the media stations would have to cover it. If they didn't, all their viewers would simply switch to another channel to see the latest breaking headline about Trump. In doing this, Trump became the extremely polarizing figure he still is, but he also gained massive amounts of free coverage for his central campaign ideas. Many of the people who saw what he was saying about political correctness or border security or the Second Amendment agreed with him. He would generally say things that weren't radical. Because of this, he was actually able to gain support from former Obama voters who were frustrated by Obama's failure to deliver on change or hope, and who wanted something drastically different. After the election and throughout his first term, Trump still employs this method to distract the media and allow him to make extremely effective decisions that normally would face heavy scrutiny by the media. A great analogy given by Jim Rickards is to compare Trump to a dog walker in a park surrounded by a group of puppies that represent the media. Let's listen to this clip real quick.
So I describe Trump's relationships with the media as the media are a herd of puppies, and Trump's the master with a red rubber ball. And he throws the ball, and all the puppies chase the ball. One of them fetches it and brings it back, and he says, very good. And he throws the ball over there, and they do the same thing. Meanwhile, he's doing serious stuff. So what's the ball? You know, Stormy Daniels, impeachment, collusion, Russiagate. These things are distractions, no substance to any of them.
And what has Trump done with all of this distraction? The largest tax cuts in American history. The building of his wall along the border, Huge regulation cuts, tariffs on imported Chinese goods, bringing manufacturing back, nominating 2 Supreme Court justices and 194 federal judges, the second most in presidential history. It is actually helping him to have constant blaring allegations that have no substance, because it distracts the public eye away from what he's doing. So how does all of this apply? Well, it definitely shows how the tactic of the mainstream media and Democrats has only been helping Trump to be reelected, and then accomplish his goals undistracted while in office. They clearly have not learned anything from 2016, and they are doing the exact same tactic of criticizing him and pointing out how he's losing terribly in the polls. In order to stop him, they would need to completely ignore him, but they can't. It would mean their certain demise. This is the real genius behind Trump.